Hello everybody, and welcome to your new moon video for the new moon in Uttara Phalguni Nakshatra, which will take place at about 6:30 a.m. UK time on the 20th of September. If you live in Pacific time or Mountain time in the US, then the new moon for you will be the night before. So what is most important to you? Is it more important for you to be right in your life, or is it more important for you to grow? Do you value honor over and above evolution? Somewhere in your life, are you afraid of losing face? Or do you recognize that if you have a little bit of humility, you could actually learn something that is very vital? These are all questions which are likely surfacing around this particular new moon for each and every one of us. With Uttara Phalguni Nakshatra, it's a good way to understand this energy, if I wanted to put it into maybe a couple of sentences, is imagine that you have a journey you have to set off on. Imagine that you have something that you need to change in your life, which likely you do have something that you need to change in your life. And you'd like to feel confident in taking the steps that allow you to make the appropriate decisions, and to do so with a feeling of knowing that you're doing the right thing inside of yourself. The only thing is somewhere within there is a slight bit of doubt. You'd like to feel confident that it's going to work out, but you can't feel confident that it's work out. Why? Because mainly you have been noticing somewhere along the way that there have been all these little hindrances rising to the surface, and every time you try to put effort towards changing and shifting your situation, you find out that things end up kind of taking a little bit of a wrong turn, and then you feel like you're acting too impulsive. But then at the same time, if you kind of give in to the doubt that you're feeling inside of yourself, or if you project a lack of confidence or lack of strength, you're afraid that that's going to hurt your life in one manner or another. And so you find yourself in a position where you're deciding to maybe project a false sense of confidence in relation to a particular situation, when really, if you look at the surface of it, what do you really know? What can you really be confident about, right? You don't really feel that you can be confident perhaps necessarily about anything. But one part of you is kind of tempted to take all of that doubt, all of that lack of confidence, and put it to one side and just continue to push forward. Just continue to push forward, going, I can trust what is right inside of me, right? And on a certain level, you can, right? But what is right in one moment is not necessarily going to be right in the next. And that's when we get into dogmatic thinking. That's when we convince ourselves that we have the absolute, that we know something over and above anybody and everyone else, right? And that happens in our lives, and most likely is happening on one area of your life right now. In any different area, like it can happen in particular areas. So for instance, you might go, right, I know the best work ethic for me to really be successful, and everything else that everybody else is telling me, well, they're wrong. I know best how to deal with a problem within my family, and everybody else, well, they're wrong. And so I'm just going to be confident and go with what I think is going to be the right thing. The only thing is if you do that blindly in the coming days, you're likely going to find that things perhaps go more wrong than they do right. And that's something you don't necessarily want, do you? Right? Because if that happens, there's a slight possibility that that sense of honor, that sense of dignity that you felt you needed to have could be diminished. Or could it? Can dignity really be diminished? Or is that perhaps pride? And I think we need to be aware of the conflict between the two. There's two different things. Dignity can never be diminished. It's the essence of our being. It's our true, inherent nature, our true inherent divine nature. That can't be diminished. We only think it can. And that's when we have pride, you see. So in addition to that, we have, with this particular new moon, of course, we've got the sun and the moon lining up in Uttara Phalguni Nakshatra. We've got Mars and Mercury lining up in Purva Phalguni Nakshatra. And we've got Venus in Magha Nakshatra, right? Somewhere within, there is a hope or a desire that a traditional set of values, which on one level has always worked for you, is going to continue to carry you forward. The only thing is it's likely not bringing you the change or the shift or the progress that you're feeling that you need. So you're becoming a little bit disheartened, and you're beginning to feel like, well, gee, am I being really stupid? Life just seems to not really be bringing me the happiness that I want in alignment with my beliefs. And so you're trying to push for a change and push for a solution. And desire is building up within you around those things that you feel like you think that that in the past allowed you to kind of create more harmony in your life, right? To go, okay, I'm taking these steps and I'm getting it right. That makes me feel like I'm doing the best by myself that I possibly can. But somewhere within, that's not working anymore. And you don't really know what to do, but you're not really ready to let go of the old, and you're not really ready to welcome in the new. Instead, you're feeling kind of stuck. And why are you stuck? Because on one level, you don't want to let go of the pride, right? On one level, you're letting your desires get the better of you, right? All these planets that I have mentioned are also forming an aspect with Saturn in Mula Nakshatra. So one part of you, rather than looking at why things aren't working, instead you're continuing to try to push to feel that you have to make them work. That isn't going to provide you the solution. So what to do with this particular energy? Have a little bit of humility, right? It's okay to not know. You're not going to lose face, right? And what face is there to lose, right? It actually is nobler in spirit to be humble than it is to try to pull something off by projecting something that actually isn't what you are. You're not confident in this situation. Admit it. That can be okay. It allows you to learn. It allows you to grow, and it allows you to evolve. And certainly that must be what is most important. So if you would like a little bit more information about how these particular astrological energies are impacting your horoscope, or if you just have a burning astrological question or several burning astrological questions, or you'd like to get to know yourself better, think you know where I'm going with this, I do offer a vast range of astrological services available through my website. You should see a link up above in the video at this particular moment or sometime soon. That's going to do it for a look at this new moon in Uttara Phalguni Nakshatra for the 20th of September 2017. Until next time, please do take the very best care of yourself. Bye now.